The diversity, equity, and inclusion work has added another life element to communal efforts towards building an open, accepting, and educated society. DEI and B for belonging or belongingness. Per Wikipedia, belonging is a human emotional need to be an accepted member of a group, be it family, friends, coworkers, or even a religion. Belongingness is an art and a science. An art because it is a complex and dynamic process unique to each person, and a science because psychologist research is believed to have captured and measured this innate and inherent need to belong in infants as young as 2 weeks old. Belongingness is not new. A sense of belonging comprises one of the concepts of the hierarchy of needs outlined by Abraham Maslow's paper titled A Theory of Human Motivation, submitted in 1943. As a reminder, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is displayed as a pyramid of the five needs: psychology, safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self actualization. Leaders, it is fundamentally important to create a belonging culture, a culture of inclusivity, one that is measured by workforce retention and increased productivity. Validate and encourage an accepting community, one that allows employees to show up as their authentic self. Be open to new ways of working and demonstrate a mindfulness of others. These are just a few tips. Matt, what are you sharing about belonging or belongingness?
Thanks, Twiana. We have instinctual rapport building processes that allow us to build trust with one another. Many of these instinctual processes tend to drive us towards conformity. Birds of a feather flock together, go along to get along. These are just a couple of the sayings that describe this human instinct. An organization that strives towards making people feel they belong, regardless of how they present, may face headwinds in rapport building amongst team members, as they will have to consciously and deliberately explore our innate rapport building instincts. Robert Sapolsky, in his book Behave, describes the part of the brain, the insular cortex, that drives our in group and out group responses. There are three main responses. One is, I care, and I think it's great that distinctly presenting people are showing up. A second one is, I care, and I really don't like outsiders. And a third one is, I really don't care one way or another. Organizations working towards building belongingness must raise awareness of these distinct responses and make accommodations for conversations that allow all employees to realize that the mission of the organization is the one thing they all have in common. We all have differences, and we can appreciate that these differences are our strengths in helping us achieve our common mission. Kimberly, what are you thinking about in terms of belongingness?
Yes, thanks, Matt. Diversity is our strength within an organization and allows us to accomplish our mission. And as an organization, we define its culture. And as a leader, we are executing on that definition. So, are you inviting your people to belong? Or are you asking them to fit in? Fitting in or belonging are two different cultures, according to Brene Brown. And she even goes on to state that belonging and fitting in are actually the opposite of each other. Why? Belonging is allowing and inviting your employee to show up as they truly are in their complete individuality and uniqueness in gender, ethnicity, education, and style. They have embraced and honored themselves, and they have chosen to show up with full authenticity and vulnerability, not pretending to be someone they are not. Fitting in, however, is asking your people to show up in a certain way, to meet certain criteria to fit in, and therefore meet their criteria to belong. By trying to fit in, they will actually have to betray or dishonor themselves. So, true belonging doesn't ask us to change who we are or betray ourselves, but asks us to be who we are and embrace ourselves. Leaders, we are challenging you. As a leader, will you choose to create a culture of true diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, or just pretend that you are through fitting in criteria?